Bro, believe it or not, that might have been the best advice because that should get in your way, throw you off.
Let it run its course. Let it come at the time that it's supposed to come. Why would you try to force it? Why, you wouldn't rather it come smoothly and with no resistance? It's just, that's it. It's patience.
Like it touched me. I was like, man, that's
pause,
dope.
Pause. Super pause. This nigga said touch me. Pause.
Damn. That one slid by.
That was a pause. That's another pause.
Oh,
slid
man, doubling up.
crazy.
Jesus Christ. Because of your video, the laughter that your video caused, that they woke up to, that they chose not to go with their plans, which was to commit suicide.
I was like, I don't know if I deserve this message. Like, why would anything in this universe put me in a position to have to hear that from somebody? I don't want to hear that.
Adversity is a privilege.
Adversity is a privilege. So I was thinking about this the other day with about my son. So my son's 5 years old. He just turned 5. And I was looking at the life that I've built for him so far and what he knows and what he understands and how he views the world. And he's in a much better position than I feel that I was when I was his age. Like, there are certain privileges that he lives that I consider privileges to him that I didn't have. Like, he's just, I'm not going to say spoiled, but he's well taken care of. But now I'm thinking in the future about my son. And I'm like, okay, I'm here working and building to give him an easier life. And he's going to have one, a life that maybe he could be 18, 19 years old and be able to sit and say, I'm not going to work for a year. I want to understand where I fit into society and be able to have that peace and calm in their life that I didn't have. Because coming up like me, you had to go get it and quick. You had to be young and you had to figure out how you were going to make money. It didn't matter how the fuck you were making money. You had to make money.
Do you ever think that might affect him in the wrong way? Like, being so nurturing and obviously doing everything you're supposed to as a good dad and you know, his mom as well and everybody involved. You know, you're making it so he has a better life and he has a better setup and so on and so forth. Do you ever, like, not second guess it, but do you ever think, like, damn, dude, like, some of the dopest people come from hardships. We spoke about that earlier. We spoke about what that's done for us in our lives, what we've been through, and I know we're going to talk about that soon. But do you ever think, like, man, if I do all this for him and don't let him, you know, struggle in some way, shape, or form, might that hurt him in the future? I
can only give him the lessons that I've learned, but I will happily take the burden of him not having to know what it takes to understand that level of adversity and surviving it. I don't think I would like for him to ever experience certain things that I've experienced in my life. That was the point. And that was why I worked so hard towards building a certain life for myself. The reason I worked that hard to do that was for my kids not have to deal with what I dealt with. And also for me to build a better life for myself. So what comes attached to building a better life for yourself is your kids are going to have to learn lessons in a different way. So I had to learn it the hard way. He's going to have to learn it from what I tell him. And now the problems that he can get into in his life or the adversity that he's going to face is going to be a little bit different. But he's 100% going to have my support. I didn't have this. I'm going to give him the support I didn't have. And maybe that could have done something for me. But I think that he can still be great while having that support. That doesn't make the person. Whatever you're built with, your adversity. For example, I was going to switch him baseball teams because it was convenient for me. I wanted him to switch his T-ball team. But I asked him. He was 4 still at the time, about to be 5. And I said, hey, what do you want to do? I can move you teams. We can go to a different team. We can go to this coach. Or you just played 2 seasons with this team. Do you want to stay with them and see if you can win with them? And he was like, I'm going to stay with my team. I already know who he is as a small kid, but I know where his compass is at. Because he's saying that.
The way he made that decision on his own.
He said that with instinct. Mm-hmm. He just said it. He didn't know what I was trying to bait him into saying.
Right, exactly.
Like, he's fucking 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. He doesn't understand where I'm coming from, but I want to see what he does. When he did that, I was like, all right, you stay with that team. All right, you're going to run it. Even when I started him in T-ball, I said, hey, at first he didn't like it. He didn't like being in T-ball. Obviously, he was the smallest kid. I had him in a bigger in a bigger team. He was 4. I put him in a 6U team. And I was like, no, you're not going to do T-ball. You're going to learn to see how the big kids do it. And everybody would criticize me, and they'd be like, no, but he should start in T-ball. I'm like, he'll be fine. By the 3rd game, he was already getting hits in a 6U team, and he's 4 because I gave him adversity.
Right.
So now I'm slowly kind of molding him to understand things and doing it different. Like, I'm not allowing him to quit. And
so going back to that comment, you see right there, you complimented the comment. I want to see what you have for the flip side of it, because I know there's a flip side. So again, the comment was, adversity is a privilege.
Right.
And there's a great philosophical way of looking at that, how, from the optimistic way of, if you're blessed enough to have some type of adversity, that means you're already in a good position because you have this adversity that you have to overcome. So what's the flip side of that?
What do you mean?
Well, because it's not always a positive thing in regards to adversity. I mean, it can make someone a way better person, obviously, but it can also break somebody.
It could, but then that defines the person. So
does it, or did it not get a break? Get some type of help to bounce back from that? I don't know. It's one of those things, like some type of form of PTSD of some sort.
That's an interesting way to look at things, because I think everybody in one way or another has their own form of PTSD.
Right, I agree.
To certain things.
Yeah.
So it depends. That can get complicated.
You have a daughter as well. Being a dad of a boy, and you just mentioned some great things about what fathers go through, and especially how some people choose differently in regards to how they're going to address the kid and whether or not they give him that adversity like you did with your son. Did you approach your daughter the same way? And if not, or if so, what do you feel the results were? See how that daddy's little girl happens right away.
Yeah, because with the girl, so with my daughter, she's older than my son. And with her, I'm the role model of what she expects from men. Okay. With my son, I'm the role model with what he expects from men. And it's not the same. So what I would want from my daughter to see from a man is a sweet side where, yes, he'll bend over and do whatever the fuck you ask for him. But every now and again, when things get really serious, things get stern. But for the most part, it's all love. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of affection. It's a lot of compliments. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of attention to detail, because I am modeling what she's going to see in her future. So everything I do, and sometimes I feel like I fall short. And I think every good parent should feel like they're falling short. You should always feel like there's more you could do. But with my daughter, I feel it. The guilt I feel sometimes. Let's say I forget to call her. I get very busy. You feel it, and I'm like, damn, am I fucking up the perception of what she's gonna expect from a man? Is she gonna half-ass expect a nigga not to call her all fucking week? Is that the example that I'm setting? And then I have to also take a step back and say, hey, you're a dad. You're working. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes there's a lot you do, and you're human at the end of the day. But I'll check in with her, and I try to make the most of the time that I have with her. But it's not the same. With your daughter, it's one way. With your son, it has to be a different way. With my son, I have to set the example of what it is to be a man, not what you expect from one. Mm-hmm. So if I show him for 1 second that you can be weak for a moment, he's going to lose. At the end of the day, when you're a man, you walk out strong. It is your position in society, whether you like it or not. That's who we are. That's what we're built to do. And if you don't feel that, then you're not in tune with what it means to be a man. It's about your strength and your position. So he needs to see that exhibited consistently. So when I walk out, when he sees me talk to somebody, or when he walks into a place, I make sure he shakes everybody's hand. I make sure he knows how to position himself, how to look people in the eye when he's speaking to them, how to say thank you, how to have morals, models. That's my job with him. With my daughter, that's her mom's job, because she's going to teach her how to position herself as a woman. That's not my position in her life. It's different. You know what I'm saying? I
do know what you're saying. Listen, I do 100%. And by the way, that was said so well, especially in regards to your son. Yeah. But I'm not going to say that I'm opposed to teaching your daughter some similar things as well in regards to hey, the world's tough. Hey, baby girl, you always got to be ready for this. You can't always rely on a man because some men, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to teach her some.
So with my daughter, it's also a lot of independence. So when she comes to me for certain things in the house, I don't do it for her. So, hey, oh my God, I spilled something. I'm like, all right, get a napkin and go clean it.
Right. Okay.
Like, okay, the toys, you made a mess. Okay, you can play with all the toys. You can make the biggest mess you want, but now you got to clean it up. And it's a stern command. I don't scream at my kids. I don't speak to them sideways. It's, hey, guys, come here. Look, you made a mess. I need you guys to clean this up now. And my kids don't combat that. Parenting is complex, but people get lost when they forget their position as a parent and the parent versus the kid. So regardless of the gender of the kid, if it's my daughter or my son, the rules in the house are the same. It doesn't matter. There's accountability on all sides. Oh, because my brother, oh, well, is your brother here? No, he's not here. The mess is on your side, so take care of it. Why is it on your side? I don't care if it's my son or my daughter. In those positions, yes. Because, yes, now I'm teaching her how to be a human. That's just being a person in general. What I was talking about earlier was more just modeling
Right.
from a male and female perspective. But from being, there's rules in the house, and it's all fun and it's all whatever. But yeah, she does have to like understand that there's still stuff you have to do. Oh, why is your aunt? The other day, my sister for her baby shower, she's making all these little things, and I'm seeing my daughter playing with my son, and I'm like, hey, why don't you go help your aunt do the stuff that she needs to do? Like understand that you need to. It's not all play. And with my son, I do the same thing. So yes, with my daughter, I also apply a similar logic.
What ages are they right now?
What age is what?
Are they at right now?
My daughter's 7 and my son's 5.
Do they inquire or try to inquire about what you do for a living? Because you're a very talented man. We haven't spoken about that yet in regards to your artistry and the things that you do. Do you tell them something that you do something, or what do they have an understanding of?
They know.
They have to see you on video. You're viral everywhere.
They know about the concept of Fleyva. They know Fleyva now.
Okay.
And they'll be like, "Oh, Papi, yeah, you make the funny videos." But they used to ask me before they really understood, and they'd be like, because they would see people. We would be out and people would come up to me and want to take pictures. And they were like, Papi, why do people take pictures with you? Oh, Papi, why do people come up to you and do this? And they'd be like, oh, Papi just makes people laugh. So that's always what I would say. I say, Papi makes people laugh. And that's kind of how they know. And then my daughter's getting a little older now. So her concept of social media is expanding.
Expanding, yeah.
And she's really starting to understand that. She even did a video the other day. She's recording herself. She's like, subscribe to my channel. And it's just a fucking video.
Stop.
It's super funny. But now she's really grasping
right.
like what social media is. So it's a challenge that I think I'm going to face in the future as the brand grows, because I'm seeing it grow. Every time I come and I sit with somebody, I'm always in a different position in my life. And it's never backwards. It's always forwards. Como dice Pitbull, Badrani va a coger impulso. Or us Cubans, same phrase.
We had a meal earlier on. We had a couple drinks, and we were chopping it up. We were vibing, and I got to hear what I like to say that many people don't know, which is your story. I got to hear a lot about your background, your upbringing, and all that, and not to bring that all back up, but it's a great, unique story, and I think it's awesome that people can kind of have an opportunity because you got such a great following. You're known for doing these just hilarious skits in regards to involving our culture, Hispanic cultures, the difference of cultures, Cuban versus Puerto Rican, Dominican, so on and so forth. And, everybody fucks with it. People connect to it big time. But they don't really know you much more past that unless there's somebody close to your life, and you have a great story, and there's a lot of different things that you're doing and you're involved in. And I would love for the fans to, get to know that about you. Can you first tell us, where did this whole flavor come about? When did this character, this I guess I would call it. It's not your superhero character, but
it kind of feels like that sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like a mask.
And we were talking about the power that you have. We'll get into the stories that you said. The influence that you have that's a superpower, it really is. But when did Fleyva come to life? What was that about?
So Fleyva, the name, I remember because my name is Frank Leyva. So when it had to have been middle school or something. I don't know who put it together. They saw my name as F Leyva somewhere, and it started as like a little joke.
Okay.
And I never really did anything. It was kind of like an inside joke between like a couple of people. And then when I started to do music, I wanted to pick a name. So I chose that name because it felt just genuine to me. I was like, okay, Fleyva. I mean, a couple of people said it jokingly, and it was never really a thing or a name, but I kind of identify with it. Like, I see the realest to ever do it always kept it real with their name. J. Cole, Jermaine Cole. You had, I don't know, Kanye West just literally just used his name. And they just kept it genuine in their music. So I was like, let me follow the same example, and it sounded cool. I was like, Fleyva sounds really dope, so I stuck with it. Once the videos took off, which was purely by accident, because I just kind of posted a video for fun. I really wasn't expecting an outcome of it. A Cuban page got it. I think I've said it a couple of times before. A lo Cubano. Shout out to Jorge from A lo Cubano. I'm still really cool with him to this day. And he reposted it, shared my video, and it did fucking amazing in like 3 days. Like, it was just getting crazy views, numbers I'd never seen. I never seen a K next to a reel.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, this is insane. And like I was like, okay, I saw an opportunity. So I was like, let me make another video and let me see what's online, because I hadn't had Instagram for years. So I completely shut myself off Instagram for shit. It had to have been almost 10 years.
God damn.
I didn't use Instagram. Yeah.
What was that about? Was that like a detox? Was that you finding yourself? Were you zoning in on something?
To be honest, when I took away my Instagram, I think it was, must have been 2014, 2015, because I just got bored of the monotony of Instagram. At the time, Instagram wasn't an application that was as engaged as it is today.
Correct.
It was just this little brown box where people would put a picture of themselves eating or something ridiculous and then get a bunch of likes for no reason, and there was no real engagement.
Right.
It was just like this random social platform. So I got bored of it, and I kind of just got rid of it. I was like, I don't need this shit. So when I decide to come back to it is when I decide, okay, I want to promote the music that I'm doing. So that was the reason that I even opened up Instagram in the first place, which led to making a funny video years later that I didn't really think was going to do anything, get picked up by a thing. I decided to continue to do certain videos based on other videos I had seen. So I've talked to other creators about this, and this is like a creator tip that I think is very important. If there's any creator that sees another video and they get inspired to do the same thing, do it. Do it. Jay-Z said it the best. Imitation is the finest form of flattery. You want to do my video? Okay, do it. Will it do as well? I don't know. Let's see who does it better. Who gives a shit? If my video did 1 million and yours does 2 million, great. If mine does 50K and yours does 75, who gives a fuck?
That's right.
That's content. I gave you an idea for your page for you to fill in the gaps, because being a content creator is very, very difficult. It's a taxing thing where you're constantly challenged to be creative consistently, and sometimes there's a little bit of a burnout and you want to fill in those gaps. So even for businesses that don't know what to do, just look online, just copy it. Like literally copy, paste. And as you're copying and pasting and as you're doing these videos, you're going to get creative and you're going to form something unique that you haven't seen before. And when you find that and it works, that's the one thing that you grab and you consistently do. That's what I found with Fleyva. With Fleyva, the comparisons I would draw between Cuban and Americans and making it this funny comedical thing connected with people. There was a market for it, and people wanted it. They wanted to see, because we're like the forgotten like area in the world. When you're Hispanic American, you're in this fucking gap consistently in your life where you're not fully Latino, and you're also not fully American.
So facts, yeah.
Americans don't look at you as an American.
Right.
They look at you as, oh no, he's Mexican. And then there's the Latinos, they're like, oh, but you weren't born on the island,
right,
so you don't count.
Tú eres gringo.
Tú eres gringo.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't grow up,
right.
How they did. And it's like, was it my fucking fault? Like, do Somalians have the same culture? Like, because I'm pretty sure most Somalians that were like raised here in America, like, I'm happy as fuck that I wasn't raised in motherfucking Somalia. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're still Somalian.
Especially if they're in Minnesota, they're getting paid.
Minnesota, they're getting crazy paid. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. So for us Latinos, they'll look at us and like, oh, but you're not 100% Latino. Okay, but you're not 100% American. Okay, fuck you. I'm whatever the fuck I am.
Right.
But I identify wherever the fuck I want to. I can code switch on demand. I feel like a superhero now, because I can be Latino when I want to, and I can be American when I want to. So fuck you. And
Yeah.
So that was the attitude of Fleyva.
Okay.
My bad. I'm shaking the fuck out this table.
No, you good, brother.
So that was the attitude of Fleyva when it was first coming out. It was that fuck you attitude. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to say whatever I want, and I'm going to say it how I say it. The first heat I ever got on Fleyva. And another tip for content creators. This is free game, free 99. When you're doing this shit, you're going to get haters. And if you don't get haters, you're not doing the right shit. Okay?
Say it again. Yes.
I'm going to say it one more time. if you're doing something and you're getting haters, you're doing something right. And if you're not, you're doing something wrong. Understand? When I would do my videos and I would use Binga as a funny word, you know how many people would be like, Cubans don't talk that way, blah, 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 and would get mad and send me hateful messages and blah, blah, blah. And I would respond saying, mi mano, como tanta binga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm going to make it a joke. Fuck you. So that was the attitude, and that really got me like, but so many people were behind it, and they loved the energy, that freedom of just being like, yeah, fuck it. Why do you have to look at Binga? Because a lot of people would approach me, and these are people close to me. These are people that cared, and I always took their opinion into consideration. It's not that I agreed with it every single time, but they would say, hey, you know, Binga is just a strong word. Like, it's not the same as saying, like, fuck. And I'm like, oh, so it's not the same because it's in Spanish?
Right.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
So I can't say Binga, but I can say fuck. And because I say fuck, the brands are going to fuck with me, right? But if I say Binga, I'm taking it a little too far.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. But here's your friendly reminder. If you really want to show love and you're really digging this podcast as well as the other ones that I produce, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, push that like, and why don't you share this with a friend or family member? Appreciate all the support, and let's get back to the podcast. That's crazy, right?
So fuck it. Binga, 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 and more binga. And I'm going to give you another binga one more time. Let me explain something to you about binga.
Oh,
binga is the most versatile word in the Spanish language, okay? You can say binga however the binga you want. You can use it as a noun, as a verb, as an adjective, as an adverb, and as a motherfucking pronoun. My dad's pronouns were binga or bingu, depending on the day you fucking caught him. You understand? It's binga. Binga could be who? Binga could be when, Binga could be what, why, and how. And tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're so accurate, dog. I even don't know one has ever said it like that.
When
you're
I say
accurate.
Binga, about who?
Yeah.
¿Quién pinga el
Binga,
tipo
yeah,
este?
yeah.
When I say what, ¿qué pinga es eso? When I say when, ¿cuándo pinga fue que? You understand? What other word can I say like that? And it's funny as fuck when I say it.
Yeah.
And when I say it on top of that, across the motherfucking universe, when I say pinga, they're like, you're Cuban. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's right. You know, we have our own word. Y'all can't say it because it doesn't sound as good when y'all say it. Binga's our thing. So I'm going to hang my binga. I'm going to let it swing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let my binga swing, and you're going to hear binga. So, again, where I was going with that, if you don't got haters, you ain't doing something motherfucking right. I'm telling you. Find that unique thing. Find that identity to what you really feel, who you genuinely are. Because that's always been genuinely me. I don't give a fuck about what I say. And the closest people to me can tell you that. I don't care.
So even though people love to say, and I hate the fucking terminology, the whole fake it to make it, what you're pretty much arguing, what you're arguing right now, what your main standpoint is, if you keep it 100, you're gonna attract the people that you're supposed to fuck with.
Fake it till you make it doesn't mean be fake to yourself. Fake it till you make it means play the game. Play the game until you could change the game. It does not mean be fake to you. It does not mean project the person you are not. It does not mean be fake. That's not what fake it till you make it means. That's completely misunderstood. Hell no, bro. You got to keep it genuine.
Okay.
How are you going to pump real content out? How are you going to build your business on something you don't really believe in? You're lying to yourself. How do you expect other people to believe you?
Right. And people can definitely tell too.
100%.
People can tell. It's just
real recognize real.
Exactly.
It's as basic as that. Real recognize real. So if you lying to me and you're in my face and you're fucking lying to me, I'm gonna know. Because I'm gonna know. Because I've been through it or I've seen it or this. Like, stop it. Don't try to do that shit. You can't do that shit.
Energy's a real thing, and when you try to fake that shit, you know, the real energy is gonna get detected.
100%.
And that's just the truth, you know. And speaking of energy, I remember when we were eating earlier on, we were talking. You told me a story about something that was, you know, basically dragging you down. Well, let's not say dragging you down, but you realize once you cut ties,
right,
with this individual, with this scenario, with this circumstance, literally everything fucking changed. I mean, you were still to elaborate. You were still grinding, still doing you, still doing multiple things. You know, a great occupation on the side. Chasing your music, which I definitely want to dive more into, and then starting this, you know, this internet sensation, but yet you weren't getting the opportunities that you probably could have if it weren't for finally cutting ties.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my bad. It's very important to know who you have around you. It's very important to understand that the people that you have around you are going to directly affect the outcomes in your life because it's what you're listening to consistently. It's because it's what you're living around. So if the people around you don't share the same goals, they will never understand what you're talking about. Who the fuck are you going to talk to? You're going to go insane. We're social creatures at the end of the day.
Right.
The people that we have in front of us, the people that we have around us, we have to be able to have a conversation with. And not only have a conversation with, but feel safe around. That's very important. If you don't have trust in your circle, the people immediately around you, how do you expect life to gift you a situation where, if that is your circle, you are destined to fail?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Life will never give you something that you're not ready for. And that's why some people are like, damn, why hasn't this happened to me? Because you're not ready. There's something that you're missing in your life that you have not built. There's a key that you're missing that won't unlock that door, and it's very important. Another part of that is gratitude. So this will all eventually come together, but gratitude is important to express on a daily basis. You have to be okay even when things are bad. And if you still express gratitude and you still see a positive outcome in your life, then when you put those two things together, the gratitude that you have in the negative moment and being able to detach from people that don't serve your purpose, though, that's what brings together one piece and makes the key. And then you can open the door.
It's kind of like if I was to compare it to, people say the luck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
When preparation meets destiny.
Right?
Absolutely.
But you still got to put in an effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where preparation is. And then the way I take what you're referring to is, you know, you're not going to have opportunities if you got something holding you back.
Right.
If you're part of something that's keeping you away from getting those opportunities. You know?
Why would there's a collective effort in the universe. You call it God, you call it whatever you want,
Mm-hmm.
you can call it whatever the fuck you want. But there is a collective effort in the universe that works together and in perfect harmony with those that understand the world and see the harmony inside of it. So if that collective effort fuels your energy and that you're not ready, why would it even like work together to make sure that you do what you say you want to do? It's not going to happen. But the moment that you sever the ties of the things that are holding you down, the moment you start taking off those shackles that you have on your ankles, that it's just tugging at you. And everybody has that. Everybody's experienced a moment where it tugs and it's like, I want to make this decision, but I can't take the risk because that but and that because it's what's keeping people away from seeing their full potential where they feel personally like they achieve something. They feel that gratification inside of their life. If you can't find that gratification inside of your life, you're going to take it out on everybody else around you. Your frustration is going to vibrate off of you. That's going to be the energy you're going to give off. And when you're around, people are going to see it inside you because you decided not to chase your goals, because you decided not to wake up tomorrow and do something for yourself. So now you got to take it out on everybody else around you. We all feel it. We feel that person in our life. And it doesn't matter who that person is. That could be a friend. That could be your partner. That could be your motherfucking parents. Gives a fuck who it is. You cannot be around that person.
So piggybacking what you were just saying, what kind of advice would you get to the people in regards to like collaborating with others? You know, because that's from what I've learned, and obviously you're 10 times more established in what you do and everything else, but from what I've learned from other creators and homies and people, you know, who are in our industry in some shape or form, collaborations is a must. It's something that people should definitely seek out. It's not that you can't do a whole lot on your own, but it's something to help, you know, expand and get your viewership into other people's viewership. And it's, you know, a helping hand. Obviously, you know, one hand helps the other. But we know that type of shit can go sideways. We know there can be a lot of fucking fuckery, a lot of greed, a lot of selfishness, a lot of whatever, you know, through your experiences and what you've done, because you definitely have worked with a lot of people. What would you suggest? What would you tell people out there?
It's about the right collaboration. You can't collaborate with everyone. Find the people that fit the brand of what you're trying to do. And that's the smartest way to collaborate. If you try to mix
two opposite brands, like, yeah.
Way too opposite.
Right,
It
okay.
becomes difficult to create something that's worthwhile.
Makes sense, yeah.
I've collaborated with a lot of people, and there's certain people that I like working with, and there's other people that it's just, it doesn't fit. It's not that I don't like, it's just we're not going to figure it out because it's like we're speaking two different languages. So, yes, collaborating helps. You're dipping into different audiences for sure. You're expanding your reach. These are the reasons that it is very important to collaborate. But also you're building a network at the same time. So even if you cannot collaborate with somebody for whatever reason, let's say in my field, it would be that I don't really want to make a video with this person, but I know they're good at X, Y, or Z. In the future, if X, Y, or Z comes up in a project because I just kept this line open, then things work.
Right.
Like a lot of people always ask, like they'll see girls in my video and they'll be like, "Oh, you cracked that for sure." I'll be like, "Yo, listen, I know that you love la película that you're forming, but I can also be respectful to women and work with them because we're obviously acting like it's fucking social media, and we're doing these videos without having to sleep with every single one of them. We're working, we're building something, and that to me, having all those people around me is like having a house. So why would I demolish a house? Why would I ruin my line? And it's important to look at content creation as a business nowadays, or whatever business you're in. I think it applies in the same logic. Don't destroy your lines. Don't destroy your assets and your business into what's helping you with your business. And whatever business you're in, you cannot collaborate with everybody either. You collaborate with the right people that work at your pace, that understand your model of business, and that it flows with theirs. And if it doesn't, then you guys can't do business together. It doesn't mean to sever the line. Just, Yeah,
that's great. That's great advice. Great advice. You, in your field, you're comedic. Everything's funny, what you're posting. That kind of some way, always somehow transitions into doing stand-up. Not always, and it's definitely not always successful, that's for sure, for some. But I know, obviously, from watching a lot of podcasts, being a fan of Joe Rogan and, Kill Tony and things like that nature, they say that when you have a certain swag, when you got a certain energy, when you just fit a certain prototype, you check off certain boxes, they highly recommend, and I agree, that you should try, if you're willing to, try stand-up comedy and whatnot. And I didn't know that you've done that before, and that you do that. And what took you that route? How did you know you wanted to do it? Did somebody convince you, or did that just,
So when I started doing the videos, people also started messaging, when is your show? Are you going to do a show? And it was a consistent question. And I think it happens to every comedic content creator. I believe that all of us have gotten that. Or I would like to think that. I really can't speak for everybody. I speak for myself. I got those messages and I started to realize, okay, I think I can actually do this. So the people are asking me, so it seems like people will come watch me. But you still always have that fear. And
of course.
Can I fill out an arena? Because this is not Instagram now, not an arena, but a space, whatever. I'm just right now. I'm forward thinking arena because I'm seeing.
There you go. That's the way to. Yeah.
There's gonna be a Fleyva show.
Visualize that, baby.
Sold out for
sure. Fuck
yeah. So before I did my first show, it was like, okay, can I do it? Okay, let me see. Let me try. Why not? I always looked at stand-up comedy as fun. I had done a lot of funny stuff already for about a year and some on Instagram and on social media. So it was like, why not translate into something that, can potentially make me some money also? I'm like, why not pursue another business avenue? I mean, it looks good. And I kind of looked at it in a business savvy, because that's always been my mentality since I was young. It's always money, chase money, everything is money. When the people started asking me for it, I approached one of my friends, Luis Diaz. He's a comedian, well-established comedian in Florida. I think he's the funniest guy.
Shout out to Luis, man. I follow him. He's great. He's funny as fuck. Yes.
And he's always, that guy is amazing. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, what do you think about, going into the stand-up game? And he was like, yeah, come out to an open mic. I'm hosting them every week. Wednesday, I'm at the Miami Improv hosting an open mic. I was like, okay, cool. So I prepped something and I decided to show up to one of the open mics maybe about a month later. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, I'm coming by today. He was like, for sure, I'm ready. We're here. When I show up, it's about like 20-something people at this Miami Improv thing, like ready to go up on stand-up. And I'm like, oh, shit. And obviously, everybody's going to bring somebody that knows somebody that this. And now this is a crowd of like 100 people. So I'm looking at the shit. I'm like, I thought this shit was an open mic. Like, you know, we were talking about it earlier, and you're like, yeah, I thought an open mic was like 5-10 people.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Yeah,
And most of them are
right.
But there were so many people I think signed up that day that just happened to fucking be on the day that I decided to go. That it's a crowd now, and I'm looking at that shit like, oh fuck, like I'm really gonna feel the pressure of these jokes right now. Little did I know what I knew in the future, which I'll come back to. But so I'm feeling horrible. I'm feeling my stomach is just in pieces. I can't think straight. I'm nervous. I'm the most nervous I've ever been. And I don't have stage fright.
Wow.
Like, I don't have stage fright. Like I'm used to it. So I don't, you know, it really isn't anything to me. But I was feeling horrible because
that anxiety was kicking in.
When it comes to comedy, when you deliver a joke, you're gonna feel whether it works in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like music that you have a track behind you and you get to dance around there. You're not really 100% committed to the reaction of the energy. You can see the crowd, and when you're doing music and you know you're doing well, the crowd's gonna follow you. But it's not the same as stand-up comedy, because when you bomb, it's absolute silence.
Tortures.
Silence.
Oh,
it is
gosh.
nothing. It is the moment where you realize
Oh my God, I can't imagine that, bro.
those people in front of you didn't feel a single thing towards what you said. So it's a different level of pressure.
Of course.
So when I go up, I'm feeling all types of ways. And there was a comedian there. His name is JP Cower. And another veteran, super funny. And he's sitting there and he's like, hey, first time? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to give you a pro tip. And I'm thinking he's going to give me this like fucking speech or like
some fire shit to get you ready.
Some fire shit. He's like, get the mic stand out the way. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, everybody forgets to move the mic stand.
Bro, believe it or not, that might have been the best advice, because that shit would get in your way, throw you off. Like, I
you
don't
know why it was the best advice? I'm going to tell you why he gave me the best advice after I spoke to him. Because when I got up there, I wasn't focused about the people. I wasn't focused about my jokes. I was worried about the fucking mic stand. I had one mission. Make sure when I go up, move the fucking mic stand.
Yeah.
And once I moved it, I felt such a relief of pressure just because I had accomplished that one thing that I was like, all right, let me do the next one. I'm still shitting my fucking pants.
Right. But yeah, but that's crazy how that happened like that. It makes sense. That's dope. Okay. Yeah.
So, but in the moment, I kind of see people and I see everybody waiting, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm already up here. Let me just do my thing. So I start saying the jokes and it starts flowing, and I see a positive reaction. And to me, it felt like I had been there 25 minutes. When I get off, I'm like fucking freaking out. I'm like, you know, the energy's fucking high, but the crowd was good. They were reacting. I got laughs, a crowd that absolutely didn't know me. And I go to Lewis and I'm like, man, I must have been out there for some time, right? He was like, like 5 minutes. I was like, 5 minutes? Like, yo, think about 5 minutes. Like,
are you a sweater? Did you break sweat or anything?
I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat after for like 2 hours.
Damn.
I was there and there were people asking me, yo, you want to get something to eat? I was like, I cannot. Like, I can't feel my stomach. I can't feel everything from my torso down. Like, I'm fucking numb. It was a crazy experience. But since I got a positive reaction, I realized, okay, I can actually write jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately I was like, all right, let me do the show. So I gave myself less than 90 days. I don't remember how much time. It might have been somewhere between 60 and 90 days where I prepped the first show. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try to sell tickets. I got a couple of people on board. I had Ellie Rodriguez with me. I had Mr. Red. I had Lynette Storybook and Luis Diaz. They were all on my show, and I took a hosting position on the show because I'm like, okay, I've never really done stand-up, but I can't sit out there for 45 minutes. I don't know what it feels like. Let me just go in and out. So I did that. I opened up the show, did like 10 minutes, and then I would have somebody else come out, boom, 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 and that's how it went. Show went fucking amazing. Was able to sell like 300-something tickets, 305 actually. I sold 305 tickets, which to me was momentous because I was like, damn, 305 Chico Boy.
305, hell yeah.
You know, a little Chico Boy from the 305 comes out and does a stand-up comedy show and sold 305 tickets. I was like, this is destiny. Like,
that's off the chain, bro.
This is something really cool. So since then, that was August of 2024. I've done 8 shows. I've done 8 shows from that point. The last one I did was in September, and I really spaced them out. I don't try to do too many because it takes a lot out of me. And we were talking about that earlier because it's just I pour a lot into the comedy just to make sure that it's perfect, just because I want everybody to have a good time. And as good as I've gotten up there, it's like ripping a piece of me and putting it out there. I never repeat the jokes. I want people to be able to come back and always be able to laugh. So it's a lot of pressure I put on myself. But
Would you give somebody advice in the sense of don't try to do too much, or would you say it all depends? You know what you're feeling like, but if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're kind of shortening something, like you're not giving it your best, if you can't look back at it and say, you know, then
don't do it. Don't
something.
rush it. Even right now, I was in position to set up a tour on the West Coast. For X, Y, or Z, production with the venues isn't working. I'm just not in a good conversation with the venues that I'm out there. The network is not working. So why force a show? Even if I know I have the audience, right? I know I can sell the show. If the venue's not working, then there's something that I'm missing. And it goes back to what I said earlier. If I don't have both those pieces of the key, I can't open the door. Right. So there's something that I'm missing to be able to open that door. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force a show. I'm not going to force something, and nobody should ever force absolutely anything in their life. Let it run its course. Let it come at the time that it's supposed to come. Why would you try to force it? You wouldn't rather it come smoothly and with no resistance? It's just, that's it. It's patience.
Sorry for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, but if you're really liking this podcast as well as the others prior to it, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, push that like, and go ahead and share this with some friends and family. Thank you for all the support, and let's get back to the podcast. You've had patience with something else that we mentioned earlier, and again, something else that I was unaware of, and I think you kind of said that most people don't know about this, you know, and that's your love for music as an artist, and that you do make music, you've been making music, and it's something that you're very passionate about. And you were just speaking of patience, and it seems like patience has finally hit a point where now you're kind of ready to start letting the world hear your music. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so I've been making music in studios. I've been making music since 2019. And in the process, I mean, it's been 7 years. It'll be 7 years in May. I've learned how to record, produce, mix, master, engineer. I know the ins and outs of creating a song. I know it very well. I've fallen in love with the process of creating music. It's a part of my day every single day. There's not a day I'm not creating. There's not a day I don't make music. It is a real passion that I have. And it's not that I've kept it behind closed doors. Years ago, whoever was around for when I was releasing music saw it. But the difference with when I released music back then to now, when I finally released the first song that I released, Lito Badi, January 22nd, was that I didn't understand the identity of the type of music I wanted to release. And it's very important as an artist and as a musician to know what you want to put out to the world and what message you're trying to convey. It's very important. So at the end of 2025, I was able to really find and define what the kind of music that I wanted to release was. And that kind of music was music that was real, was music that was telling a story, was music about everyday life. I'm not going to talk about my thug life shit. I'm not going to talk about being the richest motherfucker you've ever met. None of that shit matters. What relates to people is their everyday life. So the music that I release has to do with things I've experienced. And hopefully there's somebody out there that listens to my song and relates. And if I can get to one person, that's fine. But that's all I want to do with my music.
You know, you said something when we were eating, and like it touched me. I was like, man, that's dope.
Pause. Super pause. This nigga said touch me. Pause.
Damn. That one slid by.
That was a pause. That's another pause.
Oh, man, doubling up. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
All right. Let me reel this thing back in. All right. So you had mentioned that one time you answered one of your DMs for one of your fans, and that they told you that you pretty much, because of your video, the laughter that your video caused, that they woke up to, that they chose not to go with their plans, which was to commit suicide.
Yeah, to end their life. Yeah. Somebody sent me that message. That was about a year ago. I got this DM. I always go through my DMs. I always try to engage with my audience, and people usually see me online, and I'll be like, oh, the Enfetmas, and it's a joke, but I get a lot of real messages on the daily too. And one of them was, hey, I woke up today and I was feeling like today was the day, basically. And I saw one of your videos, and it made me change my mind because you made me laugh. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I don't know if I deserve this message. Like, why would anything in this universe put me in a position to have to hear that from somebody? I don't want to hear that. But it also made me realize that As much as I think that I'm doing something as small as posting a video on Instagram, you have absolutely no idea how much it could impact somebody else.
That's right.
So that's why, to me, it is so important to be positive when I'm online. Why? If I would have had a negative message that would have impacted that same person, I never get that message. So when you're out there doing something in the world, to make sure that what you're doing is positive. You don't know who's around. I've gotten messages where people have told me, my husband passed away. You helped me get through the year. Like, why am I getting shit like this? And I never understand it. I understood it the day that I understood my purpose. At first, when I would hear the word purpose, to me it meant what you became. So it was your doctor or this or that. And to me, that was your purpose. Like, how do you fit into society? Mm-hmm. And that's not your purpose. Your purpose is how you impact people. And my purpose is to bring light and happiness and laughter to those around me. That's what I'm here to do. That's it. So if I can do that for whoever, and I had a good day.
Did you always think that, Fleyva? Or did that kind of like, because, when we're young, we're finding ourselves out. We're our frontal cortex is developing. You got the peers influence you, peer pressure, whether or not you got a parent in your life. And you and I spoke about that. And, you went through a rough upbringing and pops went this way and that and all this stuff. When did one could say you could have had the right to go a different route and not be spreading positivity and all that. When did when did it hit you like, you know what, man, I like doing this. This is something that I like doing. And even though we know the story now of when you had your first video, but when did it hit you inside where it's like, man, I like touching people's hearts and making them, having a positive impact on them?
So my life, and it's important to say this, my life and my outlook on life wasn't always positive. Like, if someone out there knows the Bible, they'll know the story of the Apostle Paul. And the story of the Apostle Paul is basically, he was basically thug life and then decided to change his life to Christ. So my life wasn't always positive. The decisions I've made in my life haven't always been positive. The way that I think hasn't always been positive. I've fought demons that I hope nobody ever fights. Everybody has their demons, and it is what it is. But I think going through so much negativity and being surrounded with so much negativity that I was at one point in my life, like things that people would never understand. I've seen a darkness that very few people have really looked in the face. And it's a fucked up position to be in. But that shit and being at the absolute bottom that most people really don't know, when you get there and you look around you, you can only cling on to the positive. It's the only thing that keeps you alive. Because if you fall deeper into that negativity, you're gone.
Right.
So in the midst of all that, my music was my savior. My children were my saviors. They were the little moments in my life that would bring that light to me while I was living a life that had no light. It was a room with no windows. So clinging onto that and slowly just detaching from people around me that were those dead weights, that were those shackles, that were the ones that weren't allowing me to open the next door, I would slowly detach everybody. And as I started detaching people and getting very comfortable in my isolation, and there I found myself. I really found myself, and I understood who I was as a human being. When you get to that position and you really start to love yourself, like love your presence. There's a lot of people that I'll say, I go eat at a restaurant by myself. I'll go to a nice restaurant, sit in the middle dolo.
100%.
And they're like, why? And it's like, I've seen it. Like, I've seen people put this online a lot. Like, this is not the first time someone has heard it, but I actually do it.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Because I want to. Because I'm okay just being by myself. I like being alone. Right now, I have a woman come into my life. She has to understand, hey, there's a couple hours of the day where I'm locked in the studio, and I don't really want to see nobody. You know what I mean? I'm very happy in my position. I'm very happy in my purpose. But that only came to me struggling to find that purpose. And the beauty was in the struggle. I didn't understand that quote until now. The beauty is in the struggle. The point is to find something. But what the fuck are you looking for? Make sure that thing you're looking for is something that's really going to give you purpose. It's not just an empty thing that once you get it, you're done. A lot of people attach their lives and they say, I'm going to be a doctor. Then they become a doctor and they're daily saving a fucking life and become numb to it. And it becomes a dollar sign because they forgot their purpose. They forgot the reason that they even wanted to do it in the first place. And if their reason was monetary, then they'll never be the best. Right. And they'll never be a genuine doctor, making a difference in the world. And if they're okay being that empty shell, then fuck it. That's on them.
Right. That's something that they got to go to sleep with every day on their own.
That's not my problem. I'm going to live my light and I'm going to live my purpose. And if I understand, then that's it. And if somebody hears me and understands it, great. And if you don't, there's nothing else I can tell you.
Speaking of that, speaking about focusing, because, you know, that's something that's very important in any line of work. Anyway, when you got a goal set, focus is, you know, I guess that's what separates, you know, the standouts from the ones who are good, you know, from you know, the good players, from the MVPs, from, you know, from the all pros. Who has more focus? Who has more discipline?
Right.
On that note, you know, you have a big fan club. You're a good looking dude. A way to a woman's heart is fucking laughter.
I believe that.
And that's the truth. Come on, ladies, y'all know that. Y'all back that up. You know, that's one of you guys will definitely overlook a belly or a fucking imperfection if the man can make you laugh. You know, it's just and I think we do the same thing, but I think women can do, you know, they're more lenient with it. But anyhow, on that tip, man, are you know, you got 2 kids. When we talked, you know, you told me about different relationships you've been in. And we talked about earlier how so many opportunities just presented themselves the minute you were able to, you know, cut off from that situation that was not, you know, good for you, wasn't positive. And that's me saying being nice and not trying to hate on your ex, whoever that chick was. So I'm trying to be nice, dog. You know, I'm imagining she's watching and you fucked up, bitch. But things change, and now you see it, and now you're grinding and you're working hard. And again, thank you for doing the podcast. You know, you blessed me coming over here, and I know you're busy. And Jose, West Miami Jewelry, man, you know you the realest, my brother. We got nothing but love for you, man. We're talking about you and all that stuff, so thank you for putting this together. West Miami Jewelry, y'all go check him out.
All my jewelry's from West Miami Jewelry.
Yeah, baby. He's a man, dude. He's a man. Are you willing to entertain dating? Or is that something that you're willing to entertain if the right one comes around? Or are you more like, nah, man, I'm just trying to have fun. I'm keeping it 100. I'm just trying to have fun because I'm focusing on this. I don't got time for that. I'd rather not. It'd have to be like so unexpected, fucking Cupid with a rocket launcher and a knife attached. Like
unexpected, like an arrow that shot out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it would have to be. It depends. It'd have to be the right person. But I think those things usually come out of nowhere. And I'm not one of those people that's afraid of love. So
okay, all right.
If it comes around, and I think at this point in my life, I have a good understanding of what I want and what I don't want. So
you're 29.
I'm 29 now, but 29 having gone through a set of relationships that have each taught me a lesson, not only about relationships, but about myself and also what I'm looking for in a relationship. And I'm very big on the fact that nobody should have to settle for less than what they want. So obviously, your expectation can't be ridiculous.
Of course.
But if it's within reason, until you receive that, then there's absolutely no reason for you to settle down. I don't care if it takes me 5 years. I'll focus 5 years on myself. I think it matters more to be comfortable with yourself and focus on yourself. And once you can establish those goals, once you can establish yourself, then that might be a position to open yourself up to dating. Am I in a position right now where I 100% say I've achieved everything I want to achieve? No. There's a lot I still want to do. I still want to do more movies. I still want to explore my music. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to hit different cities, different markets. There's a lot of goals for myself that I have set. So I want to see those come to fruition. And if a person does come around, they have to understand that about me, that this is my priority. You cannot be my priority. I'm going to be my priority. I want you to be your priority. I want you to focus on your stuff and your goals. And I'll support them just as much as you support mine. But I can't be with somebody where, you know, that doesn't align with them. It has to align. But that's how I see the world. Somebody else might see it differently or want something else, but it's important to focus on what you want, really identify it, really detail it out, say, okay, until I get a girl that's like this, like I'm not even going to entertain the fact to take her out to dinner or do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do that? I'd be wasting my time. I'd be wasting your time, and that's just a waste of time. Fuck that.
Plus, you got a lot more going on in your life just outside of the business world and everything you just mentioned. You also got 2 kids, and if you were going to take somebody serious, you know, if you were going to entertain it outside of again fucking around, then you had definitely got to take that into consideration. What type of quote unquote stepmother would she be, you know, of some sort? Well, you know, where does she want kids as well? Because I already got 2, you know. I don't know if I wanted to. By the way, dude, you gonna rock another, or you don't know yet? Or?
I mean, I could pump as many as I want. Shit, what? I think my great grandfather had like 18. I'm trying to break his record. I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
One from every ethnicity. I have like Dominican one, a Puerto Rican one. Whichever one makes it to the majors first. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's the goal right there. Get him on that baby boy now.
It's an odds thing. No, but like I don't know. I mean, it depends. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, but again, you're 29, dude. Like, it's not even.
But it does matter about the kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That thing about the kids does matter because yes, the person I would like to bring around my children would have to be somebody that I vet. So when you have kids and you're a parent that has kids and you're dating, you gotta vet the fucking person you're dating. You can't be dating like you did back in the day, que tú eras lo loco, y tú eras un romance and this and that. Like, no, there's responsibilities now in your life. There are assets in your life now. There are children in your life now. So that matters. Can you bring everybody around them? No, absolutely not. Does it mean that you can't date casually? No. If that's what you want for your life and you want short-term commitments, then have it. People kind of shun that or they make it seem like a bad thing, but it's like, yeah, if you're not ready to commit, you're not ready to commit. Move on, and it's fine. And it's important to have that transparency, too, when you talk to somebody. Be like, hey, what do you want? Like, people are always playing fucking games. I never play games with nobody. What do you want? Okay. And I'm not going to set an expectation of something that I want with you that's not real. I'm going to keep it real from the jump.
Remember, we said that earlier, man. We said, what's the best advice? Full transparency.
It's full transparency.
All the time.
But these women get upset sometimes when you have full transparency.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and then they still end up wanting you.
Of course, because you know why? Because it's the energy of I'm established within myself. There's enough confidence within me that woman will want me regardless of whether I want her or not. You know what's wild? Like,
I don't know why. I don't know. I guess maybe I've had bad experiences, but like it's all right. A woman might hear that what we're talking about right now, and if you told her anything like what we're just right here, este tema. She probably gonna assume, oh, you just want to fuck. You just want to fuck a bunch of bitches.
Yo, hold on.
So that's what I'm trying to get to, right? Like, I want to make it clear to them, like, no, that doesn't mean that.
But even
that
if
just
I
means
did,
I'm not trying to. Yeah, I get that. But
even if I did, like, fuck it. Like,
right.
Okay, I just want to fuck. All right, what's wrong with that? Like, okay, maybe we fuck. Maybe I want to fuck again. Maybe I don't want to fuck again. But who cares? Like, if she's with it, great. And if you're not with it, okay, on to the next one. What's wrong with that?
Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to waste your time.
You're being transparent as well.
I'm being transparent. And some women will take it and they'll be like, oh, but you're such a fuckboy. I mean, I'm not being a fuckboy because I'm being honest about it. A fuckboy be lying to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? No.
I hate that term fuckboy because my days fuckboy was not a nigga who sleeps around, somebody who's just sleeping around.
He's a motherfucker.
Fuckboy is like a bitch ass dude.
Bitch
that's a soft ass. Like that's not somebody who sleeps around. So to hear that now, like it's almost like a compliment. It's like that's weird.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
Come on.
The ladies though, what I'm saying is that I feel like you can not be serious and just like I'm okay with just hooking up with you, maybe one other one, but really I can just be hooking up with you, but we don't got to get serious,
Maybe 2 other ones, maybe 5. It depends on the month. Like if it's September, you might catch me better, but spring.
now let me play devil's advocate for the ladies so they don't fucking shoot me all kind of fucked up messages. Would you be willing to, let's just call it what it is, sleep around with a female if you knew openly that she's sleeping around with other dudes?
Nah. Nah.
Damn, ladies.
Can't
What the damn, the double standard is fucked
it's not the
up.
double. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it is the double standard. You know why? Because I'm in my masculine energy and I really live in it and in my dominant masculine energy. So I'm not the type of motherfucker that will share my bitch. Like, and I'm sorry I said bitch. In the words of Cat Williams, I only call y'all bitches because I don't know your names individually. I ain't trying to say bitch for no reason. But what I'm saying is, that's just how I am. Maybe somebody else is comfortable with it, but again, transparency. So if Shorty's transparent about it and she's like, this is how I roll, then I'm like, then you're not the one for me.
Right.
I'll be with the one that'll be at least transparent. And you got to trust that transparency, and that transparency with women gets a little complicated.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself liking this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and why not share this with a friend or family member? We appreciate all the support. Let's get back to the podcast.
It does.
So now, again, furthering into that devil's advocate role, you tell a female, hey, this is what it is. I don't want no commitment. I just want to, do my thing.
If necessary.
Okay.
If she understands it without it being spoken, then it don't got to be spoken.
Okay, that's fine. But let's just say that it's there. The transparency is there, right? Now, she accepts it, and she still fucks with you. You telling me you're going to think that she's not going to have somebody else on the side?
The potential's there. It depends how good the
how
pussy
good you,
is.
I was going to say how good you give it a dick, though.
No, how good the pussy is. Like, if it's worth it, I'll be like, I'll turn a blind eye. Maybe.
They're trying to work with you, ladies.
That's
They're trying to work with
terrible.
you.
This is all sides of flavor right now. God damn. They got the fuckboy flavor. Shit. I can't believe it.
Listen, man, you're doing a lot, brother. You got the music going on. You mentioned the movie. You said you've done a movie before, and you said you wanted to do another movie. I got a quick question that I want to ask you because I feel like sometimes people think they overthink their talent when based upon what they've been successful with up until then, right? Mm-hmm. So you've been so successful now doing what you've been doing. You have done one movie, right? One movie.
Yeah, this Spanish Fly that we shot in September. It's premiering now on 420 actually, which is funny because it's a weed movie. It's two kids from Hialeah, and it's a weed movie. It's two kids from Hialeah that sell weed, and they get into funny stuff. And then it was only right that the release would be 420.
That's awesome. Okay, so look for that. It's called Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly.
Produced by Don De Niro. I think Jokes. No, not I think. Jokes was directing the film.
Do you know what platform or?
I don't know yet. I'm not in those details. I'm just a measly actor. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it'll be out at 420. I'm not 100% sure how the release is going to be. But we'll find out soon enough.
So you said that you wanted to definitely, pursue doing some more movies when you can.
Right.
Now, with that said, would you start doing some acting classes of any sort?
Oh, there's a couple of scripts I'm already looking at. Yeah, I've already got an offer to a couple of roles. So I'm already ready for the next one.
But I'm saying, you're not taking no acting classes.
No.
You just think you got it. You just gonna run with it.
Not think. Sometimes like genuinely. Sometimes so when they approached me for the movie, I was like, okay, can I do a movie? I was like, why can't I do a movie? I mean, I do this shit every day. Like I'm basically acting I'm acting in front of the camera in short bursts. Now can I do it with a script in front of me? Mm-hmm. I looked at it as another challenge.
Yeah, right.
I was like, all right, and can I do it in a condensed amount of time? Because we shot that film in 8 days. 8 days of consecutive shooting. We did 5. We took a break on the weekend, and then we shot 3 more days. But it was guerrilla style, and it was the best time I've ever had as a creative. I really, every day I got to wake up, be creative. I got to spread my creative wings. I got to really feel comfortable in the role that I was playing, and as the days developed, I really started to learn what it meant to act. On top of the fact that I had Ulysses Torrero as casting director there on site, basically as an acting coach, because he has it's called Acting Rehab in New York, that he does actual acting classes, and he's an amazing, amazing coach. So I had him on site, basically polishing me as we were going. And by the end of it, I was like,
you had it.
I was very confident.
Yeah, you felt it, yeah.
What I could achieve on camera.
Right.
And then seeing the movie, when I saw it, I liked the movie. Because we had the private premiere only for cast and the crew. And it was good. I liked it. But me personally, as a perfectionist, I'm looking at my performance on every scene. And I'm saying, okay, I could have done that better. Okay, I learned this now. So now I kind of get to polish it. Now when I come into the second movie, it's a different beast. When I first met Yuli, I have a funny story with Ulysses Torrero. And Ulysses Torrero is a seasoned casting director. Like he did Juice, he did Soul Plane, he's been in the game a long time. When I first met him, it was the day for the first read on the script. I hadn't even looked at it. And I walk in and he says, "Are you off book?" And I say, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "What are you saying to me?" And he's like, "Do you know your lines?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he looked at me like I was insane. He was like, "What do you mean you don't know your lines?" And I'm like, "I don't." This was Friday. We were going to start filming on Monday. And I'm telling him this on Friday. And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to have it by Monday." And he's like, "No, you won't." I'm like, "I'm going to have it by Monday." And he's like, "All right, let's see how you do." So we do the read. And he likes how I do the read. He's like, "Okay, But still, and unbeknownst to me, he tells me this later, obviously, but he's like, man, I was telling De Niro, we got to cut this guy.
Oh,
there's no way he's showing up.
Right,
And
be
on Monday,
ready,
he's coming in all confident. Like, what's wrong with this dude? How's he going to step to me and whatever? So on Sunday, we do a blocking. So we had scheduled a rehearsal on Sunday to block the first scene, and they kind of wanted to make sure we were comfortable with what we were doing on Monday. So I show up on Sunday, and Ulysses is there, Don De Niro. I had blah and jokes, and I knew every motherfucking line. I knew my partner's lines, and he's looking at me like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I told you, I'm a man of my word." We had that conversation earlier in the afternoon. We had like trying to figure out the scheduling.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Oh, another day," and I was like, "No. I already gave you my word. I was gonna do this today. We're gonna make it happen today."
Minute I read that, by the way, Doug, I was like, that's why Jose fucks with him. All right, he's a real one. I love that he said that. Yeah.
So like I try to, at times you're not perfect with your word.
Of course,
but I try as best I can to match my word with what I say or what I try to deliver. So when I told Yuli I'm gonna be ready on Monday, I was gonna be ready on Monday. Because I had, unbeknownst to him also, I had already skimmed the script. So on my flights, before I got into the movie, I had already gone to Indianapolis, and I was on flights to Vegas. I had a little trip on some business I was doing and performing Palo Palito in Indianapolis, which I did twice with Corey Cubano. That was friggin' amazing. So I'm coming off of that. And on the flights, I had the script with me, and I took the script everywhere with me, and I was just reading it and writing notes. And the more I read it, the more I got familiar with the script. So I didn't know it word for word,
Right.
but I knew what was happening everywhere.
I feel like you probably also picked it up as easy as you did because of your skill set with lyrics, with music. You know,
right?
You write music, so you're used to reading and quickly picking it up and expressing it because this is what you do. And exactly. that probably helped you do that so efficiently in such a little amount of time. It's impressive.
I hadn't even thought of it that way. Like now that you're saying that to me, because to me, my training felt like the content creation. But now that you're telling me that, it does make sense. Like I know the lyrics to all of my songs, and I've recorded over 250 songs.
That's crazy.
And I can sing every single one back to you.
Right. I believe it.
My memorization when it comes to words is insane, even in conversation. So when I did the first read on Friday, and my brain works insane, but my brain works in action. When I did the read, and we read the whole script on Friday with every single character, they walked in, and we did a read, and we were doing the walkthrough. By the time I was done, and I had heard the script out loud, I knew it. I knew everything that was going to happen. I knew how it was going to happen. And I knew everybody's lines, just doing it once. Because I already know the gist of where it's going.
Right.
And when I hear it, like my recollection was like bang, bang, bang. So once we were doing the actual set, I would maybe look at the sheet 5 minutes before, and then boom, game time. All right, I'm ready. That's it. So now that you're saying that shit, that is probably how I really understand those scripts. But my thing was executing. I wanted to make sure that if I looked Ulysses Torero in the face
and told him, and
I said, hey, by Monday I'm done, you know?
You locked in and it happened,
Then filming the movie was an insane creative process where I really got to see behind the scenes of what it takes to make a movie, and it was an insane production. And the people there really elevated me to do as well as I did, because the first day I get on set, everything looks real professional. I had been there the day before looking at the blocking, but there was no camera crew. There was nothing. The art department wasn't there, wardrobe. And there's so much that goes behind a movie. Right. Like people think that it's just like a couple people holding a camera. No. There's the cameraman, there's the focus guy, there's lighting, there's sound that are on site at all times. It's like wardrobe is constantly fixing your clothes, and they're moving and they're out of nowhere and they're super invasive and in your face. And art department is fixing every little piece of the set, and you're looking around and you're like, oh, this shit is crazy. When I walked in there, it was a madhouse, and I'm supposed to be the star of the movie. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm walking in already looking superstar. I was like, I have to. Like, if I show up, I got to come in here. So I got diamond watch on. I'm doing the thing. You know, I'm playing the role. And I'm talking to everybody. Because I'm like, okay, if I'm the star of the movie, then I'm the captain of the ship.
That's right.
So, all right, let's run it. This is going to be my show. And that's the confidence that I walk with every fucking day. So when they told me, can you do a movie? I was like, fuck yeah, I could do a movie. I know what I could do. Like, I understand myself as a person, and I know what I can accomplish. It's like Kobe Bryant. Like, you knew that
mentality,
You know when you passed him the ball, that shit was wet.
Yeah.
You didn't question, can Kobe make the shot? But Kobe had to prove that he could make the shot over 20 years.
Right.
So now I'm in that position where I'm like, okay,
So are you looking for scripts?
I already have scripts, and whoever brings them to me, I'll read them, and if they kind of explain to me the production, I'll do it. I have a couple now that I'm reading and seeing which one I'm going to decide to go, because there's a few in play, and I like the characters. I'm just seeing which one resonates with me the most now, and it's weird being in a position where I was like, okay, first movie comes, I took it, now I'm picking movies, and that's how I'm seeing my life unfold, and it's going to continue to roll out in the same way until there's more and more and more, and I get more and more selective. That's really a true testament of your work when you're able to sit back and say, okay, now I get to pick. It's different.
You're manifesting this because you're complimenting it by putting in valiant efforts, bro. Again,
right.
going back to the whole luck is, opportunity meets, preparation. Everything is falling in its place because you put valiant efforts. You do. You have your beliefs, you have, God on your side, you have your actual efforts, you're breaking off from these negative ties that were holding you back from hitting different potential, levels, and you're fucking with the right people like, Jose and then people that we're talking about, and everything's coming to fruition, bro. And it's dope. It's dope to see this and to hear your story and all that stuff. And, we got music to look out for. So you say you just dropped something
a song
yesterday?
So I dropped it January 22nd at 2:22 in the morning. I dropped a song just significant for me, and I dropped it Listo Badi. That's the song I dropped, and it's a nice little story about a guy trying to get a girl, and she's playing hard to get with him. And
so if we go to your IG page, the link is there.
The Spotify, Apple Music, look up Fleyva, and you're gonna find my page.
Okay, Fleyva.
Fleyva is spelled with flavor, 100%.
And that's also your Instagram handle.
And that's also the Instagram handle, absolutely.
So I need all of y'all, man, to go show your fucking support. My man's gonna be doing a whole lot of big things, and you gotta show that love because that's something that I've learned from working with people when we were talking about the collaborations. You need that love from locally first to hit that next level. And I definitely show you got a lot of love today when we were at Flanagan's. Shout out to Flanagan's, man. We were talking about how Flanagan's is such a staple over here in fucking South Florida.
They don't even need promo.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, you had a lot of people come up to you and say what's up and, say that, they didn't want to bother you. They follow you. One person didn't even see you. He heard your voice. And he said he walked up. When we were outside, he walked up. He goes, bro, I heard your voice and I recognized it. And that's what made me turn around and look at you. And, that's great. You definitely get the love, and Miami, keep doing that though. So go support your boy. Go to his Instagram, Fleyva, Fleyva, and then also look up his song on Spotify. Same thing, Fleyva. And we're gonna see some movies. We're gonna get some dope music.
Yeah, we're gonna chart some songs. Let's chart some songs on Billboard. Let's win a Grammy. Let's win a Billboard. Let's get a movie. Let's get that movie to win an Oscar in some way, shape, or form. Let's do a lot. Yeah. Let's do everything. I do everything. I'm Fleyva. I'll give you a different flavor every day.
Goddamn right.
100%.
I love it, baby. Hey, I appreciate everything, bro. Thank you for being on the podcast, man. You're a real one. Jose, thank you for hooking that up. Guys, don't forget to show your love, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.